Hello and welcome back to Project Prototech. Alright, in our last episode, we went ahead and took care of a bio research facility. During that, we managed to capture a Prototech drill. Since then, I went ahead and I cleaned up the results of that, and then in between, I went ahead and modified the game settings to have 2 encounters at once rather than just 1. Ooh, trade station. Cool. Anyways, so that's why there are now 2 of them on the screen instead of just 1. Coming on over here, we started wandering on over to this one because it was the closest. The other is just a little ways away. Only a little bit. And that looks like the exact same asteroid as the bio research facility. So I am not going to go ahead and make you guys watch me go through that again right after the other one, especially because the rocket drone did so well during that. Instead, let's go ahead and take a crack at building a warship destroyer. So, the Dragon's Breath was able to take on the logistics facility. It did require coming back for repairs during it, but it was able to do that. However, I don't think it would hold up to the Factorum Warship. So instead, we are going to go ahead and build a new ship and possibly use that as the basis for whatever we end up building that has the Factorum thrusters. But first, hey look, my CIC has been built. It's a little bare bones. I don't have anything up on the projector. That's more for performance reasons than anything else. But we have these little control pits. The CIC control itself comes from being in the cockpit. Back here are our doors that lead back into the thruster room. So, you know, if you ever want to see what a million thrusters looking at you looks like, that's it. Can also see this is where some of our build and repairs are, as well as a whole bunch of air vents. Coming forwards, basically directly in front of us is going to be the welder tunnel, and then we can come on down the side. We've got the big gates to get in and out. Over here we can come down past the jump drives and look into our ship bay, and there you can see there is our Prototech drill. And then we come on down this way. These are our tunnels that are going along the side of the flight deck. So if I wanted to go up to the main bridge, I'd go on up there. But for right now, I can just run on down these stairs. And I did a little bit of work here. So I redid this to have floor tiles instead of the armor that you see up here. But otherwise, this section remains the same. However, I did go ahead and do a little bit of work. We come on down here. Again, got our nice floor tiles, have the path. But then when we come racing all the way down over here, you can see I have now set up the medical room and a little crew quarters. So let's take a quick look. So this crew quarters is more designed for the crew of one of the ships in the hangar. We've got 2 sets of doors. Going up top first is kind of the officers' quarters. We've got a little bed, armory, desk. Coming over here, bed, armory, desk, and then the private bathroom, well, semi-private. You guys got to share. And then coming down here, we can come snaking around, And we have 4 beds. We have 2 sets of lockers, and then their own bathroom and shower. So that is the first set of crew quarters in one of the smallest spots. Gonna go ahead and kind of fill out this whole line here with further crew quarters, and then put mess halls up above, just, as I feel like it. Building those isn't too inspiring, so filling out the rest of this interior is gonna take a while. Then we come on over here to the medical rooms, and can come on in here. There's a reception desk. Do note this is airtight sealed from the rest of the area, so if this door is closed and there's a hull breach, that does not breach the medical room. Right over here we have our little scanner with our operator. Over here I put these cryotubes together as the lab vats. They look an awful lot like the Bacta vats from Star Wars. And, you've got your little lockers here for putting your gear in as you get in and out. Some tables to do whatever you need to on. But then for what's actually important, right over here we have a cargo terminal. Underneath is an air vent, and that's the one that's supplying air to this room. And, of course, our medical station. So this is the second medical room on this ship. The second one is up on the bridge. I probably should go ahead and put another one somewhere like CIC, or maybe like put one over there and one over there type of thing. Just to, in case the ship gets damaged, you've got a little bit more spread out. But yeah, oh, and of course the lab experiments up there, totally worth it. Alright, so enough of this. Let's come on over here. And start looking at what we're going to build. Alright, so let's take a look at the Dragon's Breath first. So Dragon's Breath is really good at going ahead and getting these 6 artillery turrets on target. However, the forward-mounted rocket pods, as sweet as they are often the first thing that are shot out on this ship. So that means that when they get shot out, it breaks that, and that's also ending up breaking some of the conveying back here, which means that if the artillery cannons didn't have the cargo container right next to them, which, that's what I did, they suddenly wouldn't be able to fire either. So this is a very important consideration, and that's also why I put the cargo containers next to all of my turrets, precisely for this. However, strong arguments could be made that the ship would be better if I just remove the rockets and slap this whole thing in heavy armor. Maybe shove a few decoys in there as well. At least then when the front gets shot out, it won't explode on me. Other than that, 6 artillery is nice, and then the Gatlings are also nice. I haven't had too much issue with the Factorum missiles, but I have had issues with wanting to charge in with the rockets and not let the artillery do their work, which means that the artillery is having trouble targeting and really obliterating whatever it is that's annoying me at the time. So, for the Warship Destroyer, I want to go ahead and focus more on the artillery, and I think I'm just going to do all turrets and skip any direct fire weaponry at all. So for that, I still want to go ahead and have the artillery, because it is the longest range and it does good damage. And then I want to go ahead and keep a set of Gatlings for defense against the missiles. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and keep this as an ion-based ship. So that way I don't need to worry too much about getting hydrogen going. Let's see, anything else? Oh yes, and for the sake of argument, let's just make this entire monstrosity out of heavy armor. So let's come on in here. Actually, no. Let's come on over here first. And make sure that I have enough metal grids and steel plates. And the sorter hasn't updated, so yay me. Let us also go ahead and change this to, say, 5,000 artillery shells. 2,000 Gatling's probably good. Let's see here. Don't need to worry about any of the rest of that. I want metal grids. 5,000. 5,000 might be enough. It's about 50 per block. So that is 100. That's 100 blocks. You know what? Let's change this to 10,000 metal grids. And then steel plate. Got 20,000. I have 22,000 steel plate. Let's just definitely take the disassemble off steel plate. I always need more steel plate. Alright, so that should... Oh yeah, thruster components. That's the other thing I need to do. I'm going to use a couple big thrusters, so let's go ahead. Oh, perfect. I already have 5,000, so that's enough for 5 big thrusters. And time to make build and repair brine. Closed door. Thank you. Alrighty, so what am I going to do for this? Well, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and come in here to my light armor and remove all of it. It is time for heavy armor only. Next, I want to let's go ahead and just make this a nice sci-fi black, so it fits in with that. Stick with the black and red theme for this sort of stuff. And then I'm going to just stick that there because I'm going to get rid of it soon. Put the heavy armor block there. And then I want an inset connector here. There we go. And now I can switch lock and then get rid of the interior wall. Perfect. Alright, so this is going to be the start of my ship. Let me turn my light on, and I will call this... You know what, let's just reset the name. I don't know what I'm going to call this ship yet. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build towards the rear of the ship. So I'm going to start with this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be going ahead there we go, Shift R. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So that's counting this piece here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I actually went one too far.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Okay, and then for the sake of argument, let's just go ahead and slap some interior plates down or interior walls down really quick, so that way I can go ahead and make sure that I have this properly measured. Also, toss the metal grid. Alright, now I want to go ahead and grab a large warfare ion thruster, because they look cool. And if I do this... Perfect! That is exactly what I was going for. Alright, so with this thruster located like this, I now have a forwards thruster that is going to be, sitting a little bit exposed. But then I have this whole heavy armor plate block going on here, and I can just go ahead and build around this, and that will give me one of my reverse thrusters. Alrighty, so let's go back to this. And I want to put a pair of heavy armor blocks there. Let's see here. Dun 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 dun. Let me come in here and make sure that I've got this set. Oh, come on. Oh. There we go. Finally got it. Alright, so with the first forwards thruster in place, now need to remember how else I wanted this ship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Alright. So this is going to be more or less the length of the ship that I'm looking to build. I'll put a little bit more back here. And then I am going to need to come back up here. Let me just eat something really quick. And I actually want to go ahead and slope up. Like this. And that also means that I'm going to want to come here. And let me just slap another interior wall on there temporarily. And then go ahead and have build and repair. Remove those. Alright, there we go. So this is going to be the nose of the ship. And then I can also finally find the right way to rotate this. Alright. Really? That's not where I put you. Alright. And then what I'm looking to do here is I want to come up to this, and then I'm going to go ahead and start putting in my artillery turrets here. Okay. So this will be the first artillery turret. There we go. So, and then to go ahead and manage to get a bunch of artillery turrets on target, I'm going to now go ahead and put down a pair of heavy armor blocks. And then, yep, that's the, nope. Wrong way.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
I want to keep sloping up. And then put the second one in there. And I'm leaving a little gap here because this is where I'm going to go ahead and start hiding some side thrusters. Alright, so what is going on with this? So when we look at this from the front, we can see there's the first turret, there's the second turret. The second turret can actually shoot over the first turret if I've got something over here. So this is what's called super firing. Effectively, all that means is that the turrets can shoot over each other. What I'm going for here is I'm going to go ahead and do this for basically 5 turrets down the side. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And then again, we just repeat this and keep going. That's 4. And now 4, 5. Alrighty. Let me grab this one too. There we go. Alright, so this is going to then be mirrored on the other side. So this should give me, just from this part alone, 10 turrets that are all super firing. So as long as I am pointing, front towards the enemy, I can really slap them with a lot of firepower. What's missing? Metal grids. Ha ha ha. Whoops. Well, I guess I need more of those. So while my production races to keep up with the speed at which build and repair works, I'm going to go ahead and be back in a few after I am done with the other side. Alright, so the magic of hitting the pause button. I went ahead and did the other side just like the first, so now we can go ahead and see here, 10 artillery turrets, all able to shoot at something way forwards. So, objective number 1 complete. Now, let's go ahead and start carving up. And I am going to just kind of place these down here really quick. One of the things that I was looking at was in this gap here, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 side thrusters, and I think that might be, actually, it's not even really going to be enough space for these ones. There. You know what? Let's just fill that in, because I want them to be kind of on this level or this level, and because ion thrusters are too deep, they would be hitting each other there, so that's not going to work. So 2, 4, 6, that's not nearly enough side thrust, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put some more thrust up here, but I need to finish filling out the rest of this before I can break that block. So let's go ahead and just fill out the shape that we're going to put up here really quick. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2, 3. Go ahead and use this. And if I was building this in creative, this would also be where I would mirror both sides and also mirror top and bottom. But that being said, that goes ahead and once I, stop running out of armor plates.
Energy low.
Ooh, oh boy. Let me come on over here and sit down really quick and order up a lot more steel plates. I know that I have the auto assembler or the inventory manager goat running, but when you've got stuff going like this, you can definitely find that it cannot keep up with you. So sometimes you do have to pop in and do stuff like that, so that way, you know, build and repair doesn't go too far. Alright, so what we're gonna do, actually, you know what, let's do this. Let's paint it pink. We have it connected across the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put that down. And then we'll go back to our black. And I'm going to put a heavy armor block on each of these spots. Alright, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with the interior, so let's just slap these down really quick. And... Ow, 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 ow. What the... Oh, cat! Do you have to? Alright, I'll be back after I fix my keyboard bindings. Alright, now that my keyboard is working again, because of course the cat has to jump on everything, I was going to grab the Warfare Ion Thruster and stick them on basically like this. You can see they are tucked into the armor, so that way random shot isn't going to explode them. And then let's also go ahead and stick some back here. Okay. So now I've got 4, 8, 12 plus 5, so 17 side thrusters. So that means that I shouldn't be hurting too much on the side thrust front. Let's see here, coming on over here. So as we dive in here, we can see that there's this nice big gap right here. This block here is going to be the front of the ship. So this block right here. And as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3 blocks before it actually gets to the turrets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find a decoy. And I'm going to shove a decoy block in there. And then let me just finish taking care of this side really quick. Alright, so 1 decoy down, and then I can basically just start running conveyor, and of course filling in with heavy armor. Actually, hang on a second here. Let's make a quick change, because I can go ahead and slap something down there and there. Oh, fine. I guess I'll have to do it manually.
Inventory full. Inventory Inventory full. Inventory full.
Alright. So, what am I doing here? Well, I can go ahead, and when I swap this back to my black, there we go. Okay, and then find the right rotation, and then I can stick another artillery turret up here. Perfect. And then, of course, one down here as well. And this will also go ahead and mean that now instead of 10, I've got 12 artillery turrets that can hit something in front of me. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and copy what I did here on the other 4 quadrants, and I will be back soon. Alrighty, so we'll look at the side. It's hasn't run out of steel plates yet. So we've got the 5 super fiery turrets down the side. Right now I've got 1 artillery turret top and bottom. However, if I want to still be able to fit out my front door, I can't really go higher and do super firing this way. But what I can do is if I step out, 2 slots to the side, so not, say, right here, but right here, I can go ahead and put in another set of, this time, 4 artillery turrets. So with 4 artillery turrets there, that is going to let me go ahead and potentially, if I line things up right, which I can probably do at, 1,800 meters. Now I've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 artillery turrets on target. So, 16 artillery, I think that might be taking things far enough. And then I still, though, need a little bit more, and that is the Gatling turrets for anti-small grid. So here, I can basically go out 1, and then up here another 1. And there we go. And let me just quickly come in and rename this to Lang ammo container. I will have to go ahead and rename these things to get auto-loaded later, but for right now this will at least let me know which ones are supposed to carry which ammo. Now I could go ahead and make use of conveyor sorters that are then just pushing the ammo towards these, and basically just do something like have it curved down and then come have a conveyor sorter here and then curve down, conveyor sorter directly on the back of this, or even just like, actually probably better would be come down with a conveyor sorter, come out with a conveyor sorter, and then a T here that goes into a curve. and that would be how I would do it if I was not making use of the script to go ahead and make sure that all of my containers were loaded. But for this particular game, since I'm making use of that script, I'm afraid of me having the sorters pushing the ammo and then the script getting confused and just things not working right. So, not going to make use of the sorters here. For these, do I like this Gatling turret more or this one? I've been using the other one more, so let's go ahead and just slap these ones on. Alright. And then this is basically my anti-missile defense. So, since that's what it is, it makes even more sense to use the one that looks a little bit more like a, oh, what is the name of the weapon system? Oh, I forgot. Oh well. Must not have been that important, right? Right? So, all of my turrets are down. And I'm out of middle grid skin. Okay. So now I just need to go ahead and basically finish shaping and then put in more engines back here. So get, this whole rear thruster and then the up-down thrusters. So for up and down thrusters, what am I gonna do? Actually, I can get rid of this one.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
1, 2, 3. And then 1. Let me go ahead and finish filling in the area around these. Alright, so doing this... Oh wait, that's what I can do actually. Instead of this,
Inventory full.
get rid of this.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
And
Inventory full. Inventory full.
I won't do the single line down here.
Inventory full.
And instead, I can go ahead and do a double line here. And that lets me put in come on, 10 thrusters there. Do I do more here? Might be able to continue that line down this way. Oh wait, I'm gonna have this here. Yeah, I think I need to go ahead and finish up the back and the little cutout that I need for the reverse thrusters before I can finish figuring that out. So I will be back once I finish figuring that out, and yeah, be back in just a few. Alrighty, so I've done a bunch more armor shaping, And let's just go ahead and take a look at this ship from the front to the back. So starting at the front, again, we've got the narrow front branching out. I've gone ahead and I've put some thrusters in right here, and there's a gap right here that we're probably going to make use of for getting in and out. Make a little break around where the artillery cannons are, and then we come back here and we have this forward-facing large thruster with its little cutout for where it needs space in order to not burn the armor. So you can see it comes out to about here. I've gone ahead and made use of a little bit of that space for sticking some thrusters there. The top thruster here, I have extended out a full block, and the reason is I am planning to go ahead and have the top-mounted camera placed right there. Do I need a top-mounted camera for like directing my firepower? No. I can, with this particular setup, I can go ahead and take care of basically everything just from third-person view. However, that still would let me go ahead and zoom in on a particular target, so that way I can decide, see what I'm facing off first. I still do have 2 blocks clearance between the top and here. And then coming down here, though, I've got about a block and a half clearance. This one is only half block height. Mostly just so that way I have that extra clearance for getting in and out of that door. And as you can see, what I've done over here is we are kind of sloping back a little bit, and then we've got this array of 3 large thrusters and a bunch of little thrusters, and that's going to be our forwards thrust. So I still need to go ahead and finish figuring out where I'm placing the thrusters on the bottom, which is more likely than not just going to mimic what I did up here. Also, I've gone in here and partially covered these with the corner tip 2x1x1, so those don't get in the way of the small thrusters, but it does still let me slightly armor that. And then I can come in here and toss some frames down. There we go. Just add a little bit more protection around those. And then the only real question is whether or not it's worth it to go ahead and armor this up some. Because what I could do is something like this. And that just gives a little bit of extra protection around the thrusters. Not a ton, but, every little bit counts. Yeah, so effectively this is going to be what the side of the ship looks like. I need to go ahead and mimic all of that on this side now, which, basically just means playing on it back here. And then from there, it's all just a matter of going in and filling in the interior. So as you can see, when we come inside, there is a little bit of space here where I'm going to go ahead and start, running conveyor. Need to get conveyor access down from, front of the ship all the way back. And, also finish armoring it up. Eventually we're going to break into effectively this spot over here. And this then... What the heck? Why... Oh, cat. Alright, I'll be back in just a second. Alright, as I was saying before the cat just killed me, because apparently jumping on top of my computer is like the best thing to do, and then my keyboard does not like that and gets me sticky keys. Alright, so let's go ahead and start looking at how we're going to get in the ship. So I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and do very similar to what I did over here, which is have some stairs on the top that are then leading into a doorway. And you know what, let's just make it nice and easy. Let's do sliding doors. And then we'll bump up to here, and then to protect it, we'll just go ahead and lay down a little raised plate there. And will I normally go for a vented door? Yeah. Yeah, if I tried having an air vent in here, I would either need to push this back by one, or... because I can't push this way anymore. Otherwise, and the reason is if I take this out,
full.
you can see right there, without this block here, we are going to not be airtight. So, if I went up on this side though, can I go back another block this way? Yeah, actually I probably could.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Alright, so...
Inventory full.
Alright, so then in that case, let's go ahead. And then here, it's a little bit closer to the front. And then I'm going to need a passage block here. But I could go ahead and do the passage light. Okay. So I can see a little bit of light as I enter. And then I have either the air vent directly there, or I can go ahead and do a Willis duct type thing. Alright, so that's how I'm going to be getting in and out. Then I think I need to go ahead and finish filling out the rest of this interior some. Let's do this. Alright. I already have those in place. Perfect. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and let me turn my light on. Okay, so I have some space up here. I want to go ahead and fill in a bunch of this forwards part. With armor, and then I can go ahead here and start putting in batteries. And we're just going to slowly work some more batteries in. Yep. Yeah, definitely go ahead and do that. So that's Gatlings. Alright, and then back here I need to cover this and this, so I might as well just go ahead. Actually, this is like
Inventory full.
a perfect place for some event controllers. So, let's see here. Event controllers. I need... that's the airlock, dock, undock. Do I need any other event controllers for this ship? I don't think I do. And then I can go ahead and also place the remote control and AI flight block. We'll grab AI defense here. And then I don't think I need any more AI blocks, but we'll go ahead and slap some more heavy armor on there. Then coming in here, I can go ahead and just conveyor this up. There we go. That is all conveyored up. I will go ahead and fill that area out in a bit. And then back here, I can go ahead and add more batteries. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that'd be 32 batteries if I repeat that on the other side. I think that's good on batteries for this ship. And then I can just go ahead and put some reactors in that will go ahead and, you know, keep things topped up. And then from there, I just need to go ahead and pull out the conveying again. And I think that if I go ahead and look to put the conveying through to somewhere in here, because I need to have it all connected up right here. Come on, there we go. Actually, let's change. No, wait, I don't want to change that out because I want that covered. Ooh, what I could do is up here, I can have a conveyor junction. And then in here is where I will store the oxygen tank. Perfect. Oh, there's an observer drone that's looking at me. Alright, and then I can just kind of slowly work on filling in this area here. So I've got the oxygen. I don't need hydrogen for this ship. I will look at going ahead and putting on, what's it called? Some reactors, just for supplemental. And this area is basically filled out. Ooh, you know what I can fit in here? A jump drive. Now I've got 1, 2. Alright, so I have my AI blocks and my remote behind my jump drive. Right in here then will be basically the what's it called? Where my pilot seat is, the control room. So this will be kind of like the central CIC for the ship. And then I can go ahead and look at doing this. Alright, and then that's how this side will be connected. And then I can just go ahead and fill in some heavy armor blocks there. Leave a little space there that I can fit in whatever I need. And then just keep pushing that forward. Alrighty, I think we're getting somewhere. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back away and finish shaping up the outside. And then also finish conveying up that side. So that way that's all taken care of. I need more thruster components. Tell it to build that more of that too. And then bring you back in here as I figure out what I'm doing with inside. So see you in a few. Alrighty, so here we are. Basically done with the outside. While I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and just slap a compact antenna on down right there. No. Let's do this, actually.
Inventory full.
Let's inset it by a block.
Inventory full. Energy low.
Put it in right there. There we go. Now it's not jutting out as much. You can see overall, ship's not too wide, but it is definitely long. Hello, cat. And got 8 Gatling turrets, a bunch of artillery, and a bottom-mounted connector, and then top-mounted entrance. So coming in through the airlock, and then we enter into the main part of the ship right here. So what I need to start off with here is grabbing a Willis duct. I will note this one is set to depressurize, which is just my lazy man's way of doing an air vent. I already have some event controllers. So, let's see here. Oh, I need gyros on here. Let's go ahead and start by sticking some gyros up here. Let's start with 6 gyros, and then go ahead and slap a control seat on down right here, partially so that way I can just recharge. Alrighty, and now I can throw out some of the stuff that I picked up for build and repair to pick up. So we can see here. Let's actually disconnect from the connector really quick. I'm not entirely sure which connector it is on this side. Let's just do this. Switch lock, thank you. And we have enough battery to sit here for a while, so. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at our little ship here. Our artillery turrets are already full of ammo, so let's go ahead, reset the name here, and I don't want to see inventory for this. Artillery turrets, 16, as mentioned. I don't want to see the inventory screen here. Don't care about too much else. And then we can worry about the rest of that in a little bit. So let's take a look here. So we're coming in just short of 3 million kilograms, which is, you know, kind of expected for something like this that's made out of pure heavy armor. Let's see here. I do, of course, need to set up all of the event control stuff. Let's go ahead and just call these thrusters. call these thrusters large, and then come back in, search for thrusters. So 90 total thruster blocks, and if I were to go ahead and use all the forward, all the left, and all the up. So, taking a look, we would need a total of, let's round up, 260 megawatts of power. And how many batteries do we have? We have 32. 32 times 12 is more than 260. Perfect. So as soon as all the batteries are complete, technically we don't need any reactors. I'm still thinking I will stick some onto this just to, in case I want to jump around. Because again, I put a jump drive on this, why not? Let's see here. Let me just do a quick check. Oh, that is a very sluggish response. So let's stick some more gyros on here. And you can actually stick a gyro back there. And we'll stick some gyros there. And now let's go ahead and talk about those reactors. I have the conveyor port right there. So I can just go ahead and stick 4 reactors on right here. And that will get me effectively everything that I need for that. Then I need to go ahead and put some sort of block in there. And actually, if I go ahead and do something like this, I can then put a passage of some sort here. And that's going to allow me to walk up and down, in and out the entrance. And we are now nice and pressurized. Not that that helps because I'm not connected, but I'm pressurized and I've got access back here to the gyros, the reactors, and then I just need to make sure that I keep this access here. Let's go ahead. Let's see here. I think if I go ahead and I stick another pair of gyros on, there we go, like that. And then got up here to get to that, so let's go ahead and make that a T. And then here, I need some lighting. So, where is it trying to stick the corner light? Okay, you can't stick it there, so yeah, we'll just stick a corner light on right there. And go for my 25, and then 200. And if I walk away, does that give enough lighting to this whole section? Let's go ahead and change that up a little bit higher. Perfect. So that's my little engineering section all handled. And then I can go ahead and just kind of fill this area out. Let's see here. What else do I need? Well, to start off with, I think that if I go in here and I slap in a cargo terminal, that gives me easy access to cargo inside. I need I don't know what I was stepping on that I didn't like there, but second connector. Yeah, let's just connect up so that way it's not going to complain too much. Alright, so I've got cargo. I need a survival kit now. Unless I can make an argument for a med bay? Ooh, actually, since this is a seat, I can replace that with a med bay like that. Now, if I'm going to do that, I want that on this side.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
So then there we go. So now I've got med bay right here. Cargo terminal here, and then I can do something like stick in a bathroom, stick in a bed. Let's do that. Do the inset bed. Then I need a bathroom and a shower, kitchen. Let's see here. So a way that I can make that fit nicely. Anywhere that I can nicely fit. Ooh, Actually,
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
and then I can fit my toilet shower combo. I did not mean to crouch. And then also fit in a door there. So bathroom is all the way up front. Perfect. And actually let me do a neat little trick where I stick the light here. And then I want to copy this, paste this, call it bathroom light, and then I'm going to change the offset to 2. And now I've got a light in my bathroom. I can turn my light off. There we go. So we've got our bathroom up here, all nice and lit up. And then I can go ahead and put the kitchen over here. There we go. And then I can supplement that with there we go, little desk to eat at. And then let's see here. What else do I need? And I can put a little inset bookshelf there. And couch over here. Wait, I need my freezer. Is that a good spot for the freezer?
Inventory full.
Take this out and put the freezer in here. And we can still access this. Got our freezer, cooking spot, prep table, and then there we go. Now we just need lighting. So let's go ahead and grab some of that troffer lighting. There we go. This whole area is now nice and lit up. Yeah, anything else that I can think of? No, I think the ship is basically good to go. Oh wait, that's what I needed to do. I need weapon rack, lockers. That's
Inventory full.
the
Inventory
couch.
full.
I will move the couch in just a bit. Armory, lockers, and then some more lockers. So that gives me weapon storage. And then what I can do is over here,
Inventory full. Inventory full.
I can cut this out for the couch. There we go. Couch next to the books. And then there we go. Alright, so we've got full medical room, sleeping, all of this, and we are basically good to go. So I need to do a little bit of automation for dock, undock, and do the airlock, and then go through so that way the script will load all of the guns. But once I am done with all of that, then this thing will be ready, and then we just have to wait for a Factorum Warship to appear. So, that was a long building episode, but if you ended up watching it all the way to the end, thank you. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.